you know what they say, it's better to be pissed off than pissed on. Now exactly who in the hell says that, I have absolutely no idea, but we have a lot to cover today because 2K and the release of WWE 2K26 has continued to become even more controversial. Just like always, timestamps will be in the description below, but let's go ahead and jump into it. First things off, man, we're going to kick it off with the phenomenal one, the phenomenal Unk, who's pretty much showing his age off with what he said, but I'm kind of curious here. The Hall of Famer to be, what do we call him? Like, when a government official wins an election, it's, so-and-so elect, the president-elect, the mayor-elect. What do we call AJ? Do we call him the Hall of Famer to be? Do we already call him Hall of Famer? Regardless of whatever you want to call him, AJ was on his podcast, the Phenomenally Retro Podcast, which you should support because obviously we support our legends. But he was speaking about wrestling games. He was talking about some of the older games, WWF No Mercy, WCW versus NWO Revenge. And AJ was essentially saying he's not really too much of a fan of the modern day games, the WWE 2K series. AJ was saying that he prefers the arcadier style over the more realistic approach. Now his reasoning, again, as I said in the intro, the phenomenal Unk is kind of showing his age. And I can respect that because what he said was, the more buttons you introduce, the harder a game is going to be to learn. And if you're not a fan, you're not going to be willing to spend that time in the lab to get better. And then this is a very interesting thing because of 2K26 in general. He said, and take hours. Like, the new 2K games are too much for me. I don't want to spend all that time. He even specifically mentions the whole WWE 2K19 $1 million tournament. Remember how they had this whole thing of you can climb through the ladders and then you would get to actually play AJ in real life? I don't really fully remember all of the details, but that was pretty much the main gist of that competition, or I guess sweepstakes, contest, whatever you want to call it. And he actually said that he told them, hey, I'm not good at the game, I kind of suck. And he said that, they still went ahead with it and that the guy basically destroyed him. Funny enough, I'm pretty sure that the guy who won the contest was actually a WWE employee, but AJ says that the dude pretty much just wiped the floor with him. Out of everything that he said on this podcast, I think the most damning thing was when he pretty much mentioned that you have to sink so many hours into the modern day 2K games. And I think it's interesting for him to say that because one of the biggest issues with 2K26, who in the hell am I kidding? The biggest issue with WWE 2K26 is the ringside pass. Now, AJ isn't speaking about that, but he's still criticizing a modern aspect of the WWE 2K series. And let's face it, the modernization, the modern setting, the modern era of video games is to just pretty much milk players for as much money as possible. And in 2K this year with the ringside pass, that's what they've done. You're not only paying for DLC, you're having to pay to then grind it. And not everyone can spend an egregious amount of hours to go through a battle pass. Since we're on the topic of the battle pass, here's one of the funniest things. An actual artist that's in WWE 2K26 has genuinely called out 2K. And again, we all know what he's calling them out about. So now this is the funny thing. So shout out to Papa RPG. Papa RPG pretty much made an excellent video, which you should check out, where he pretty much describes why WWE 2K26 is essentially an epitome of everything wrong with the modern landscape in gaming, like I just mentioned. And in the comments of his video, the screenshots and everything courtesy of him, the actual artist, the dude who made the song for The New Day, he said, my song is in the game and I'm still not buying this slop. LOL. Now, what the hell does it tell you that somebody who actually has a song in this game is telling you that he's not even going to support it? He's not even going to support it because even he knows this is slop. What did I tell you guys in my first impressions video? Live service slop. This entire game is live service slop in a nutshell. The whole ringside pass, you can't earn RXP if you're not connected to the internet. Dumb as hell. You're having to grind for content that you paid for. Dumb as hell. You're having to literally grind for legends that you just essentially could have gotten for free or, with unlockables in what, a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Dumb as hell. A game that They literally patched what was the Apex Live event in my faction, so you can spend more money on my faction points. Dumb as hell. Like, everything in this game is essentially what's wrong with the current landscape of gaming. This whole live service slop. I know MMORPGs and stuff, free to play games, but this isn't a free to play game, nor is it an MMORPG. And so for somebody whose literal work, their literal art is in this game, and he's saying that he's not going to support it, and he called it slop, what does that tell you? And again, this man is an artist. If anybody can afford to buy this game, can afford to pay these microtransactions, it's somebody whose literal hard work is in the game. And if he's telling you he wouldn't buy this slop, he's not going to support it, what does that tell you? Food for thought. Something else that I would really like to talk about is that 2K26 has been getting destroyed on the Steam store. Hell, I decided to even go take a look at it on Metacritic, and the Metacritic score, of course, you know, reviewers, they give it an 80, but the user score is a 1.9 for the PS5 version. A 1.9. It doesn't even stop there. The Series X version, granted, only 5 people have reviewed it, but it has a 0.4. And then the PC edition, 2.5. For the Switch 2, nobody has reviewed it on Metacritic yet. But then if you go over to the Steam store, it has a mixed review. But if you look at all of the ones that are pretty much negative, one of the main common denominators, or in this case, let's just be brutally honest again, the common denominator is that everyone is pretty much in agreement that this ringside pass, this battle pass system is terrible. For example, we'll take Zanrier. Zanrier pretty much says something that I pretty much regurgitated since the game came out. The gameplay is better, but everything else sucks. The ringside pass is awful, making players grind for DLC they've already paid for. This is not Fortnite. The model doesn't work. Zanrier also mentioned that the developers patched the easy way to grind the battle pass within days, if not hours. Meanwhile, there are still bugs from 2022, and some features don't even work properly. And it's even funnier that he mentioned that, because I saw something earlier on Twitter where a user was saying that the Mickey James, her finisher, if you do the pin with it, instead of just waiting to do the pin after you do the move, but you know, like you press the right trigger down, the right stick down, you know, to do the pin. Apparently the pin, it just glitches. They won't take any damage. It's like you didn't even do a finisher in the first place. And apparently that's been in the game for a couple of years now. So again, man, for you to still charge this much money, then making me pay to grind, because again, I don't know how many times I gotta keep saying this is a pay to grind mindset. You still have bugs and glitches that's been in the game for 3 to 4 years now. That doesn't make sense. You can't choose to raise up prices and then fix the whole method because it's exploiting the game, but then you don't actually fix bugs and issues into the game. Like, that's kind of disgusting. And then another user by the name of Blaze Medusa said that this game is a quote-unquote masterclass in corporate greed, effectively burying a solid wrestling simulator under the most predatory monetization system the franchise has ever seen. And this is also something I find interesting. A lot of the people who are criticizing this game are actually enjoying the gameplay. What they're having an issue with is this whole monetization. And that shows you the state of the community. We can agree that the game is fun, but this whole new practice of pretty much sucking you dry of your money is disgusting. Hey, that's just my opinion. What do I know? I'm just a moron who actually plays the game. But let me know your thoughts about this whole situation, or about any and everything that we discussed today. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree with AJ Styles? Do you disagree, but do you kind of understand where he's coming from? What do you think about the artist who said the game is slop? What do you think about all of the Metacritic and Steam store reviews? Like, again, I have an idea. I feel like I know what everyone is going to say about the ringside pass. But again, man, I just really like to hear people's opinion and input on it. But at the end of the day, what can we really do? But if it's your first time stopping by the channel, go ahead and super kick, sweet chin music, that like button. pick up that subscribe button, slam them through a table, hit them with a spear. We got a lot more stuff coming on the way. Universe mode video coming out soon, and a whole new video, a whole new take, actually a couple of video game essays coming on the way. We got a lot going on, but your boy signing out. Take it easy.